Entitled Mom Stops Me from Being a Porch Pirate, by user Hardcore Spatula. This happened to me a few hours ago, and I'll try to keep it brief. About a week ago I ordered Alpha Sapphire and today it arrived. My friend and I walked home together after school, so I, seeing the notification that my package arrived to my house, decided to walk up my front porch to check my mailbox. Let me remind you again, this is my mailbox, not some random MFS packages. My friend had left by this point, so it was just me on my front porch. It was just me until I hear someone clear their throat from behind me. I turn around to this lady and her son. She says, "Excuse me, the owners would be quite upset if they knew you were taking their packages." I laughed and said, "Ma'am, if you actually knew them, you'd know they'd be happy if I brought their packages in." She responds with a "Hey. How about you put those packages back where they belong?" I respond with, "Yeah, in my house." I gesture to my house, "So, I'll be doing that." She says, "There are so many porch pirates in this damn neighborhood, how do you feel setting this example for my child?" I have to mention here, I know everybody who lives on my street, and she doesn't live here. At this point I'm starting to get tired, so I turn around and ring the doorbell. "Happy?" I say. She responds, "I'm not moving out of this stairwell until the owners of the house come out, you know." I nod in a sarcastic way. It took a solid minute, but eventually my mom opens the door. She notices the woman before me. "Can I help you?" My mom asks the lady. "Yes, actually, do you know this boy?" The lady responds. I wave to my mom and she audibly laughs. "You serious? This is my son." The lady gawks, and then walks away. My mom asked what that was about and I explained. "IG, she's coming from a good place, but WTH lady? My father just yelled at me and my mom because a man doesn't clean," by user dramatic_coyote 9159. My father literally just yelled at me and my mom moments ago because we had a property inspection and he claims the house was disgusting, although my mom and I stayed up late at night cleaning the house top to bottom. He claims he has 2 women in the house and that the house should be spotless because of that, stating that should be more than enough for a clean house to exist. He also went on to say that he's a man and that if he ever has to clean, he doesn't see the point in having us. I hope this doesn't get removed, but it's times like this where I want my hand to become a pretty necklace. P.S. I would like to add that usually the house is disgusting because of him. He literally made the kitchen sink nasty after I cleaned all the dishes and the sink out last night, putting food and utensils in it like it was just whatever. I'm constantly having to clean up after him time and time again like a baby. Entitled Mother Demands I Remove My Knee Brace So Her Daughter Can Have a Fair Fight, by user Sylph27. This story is fresh, so enjoy. TL.DR at the end. I am a martial artist and have been training in my specific discipline for almost 12 years now. In my region, we have a group that organizes events between dojos and cities. The most popular are tournaments. Before COVID, we used to have almost monthly tournaments in different cities. They weren't mandatory, but a lot of people still came because almost everyone is a good sport. Notice how I said almost everyone. Since tournaments have started up again, with a lot of restrictions for health reasons, my dojo has been pretty happy. Those of us who can go, take time to commute. The last tournament I was at was a day ago and we were in a city that was about a 2-hour drive away from my hometown. Everything was going smoothly until I went into the change room to change into my GI. There was a mother there with her daughter who looked around my age. Why the mom was there was beyond me, but I didn't pay them any mind and went to a corner to change. I had half of my uniform on during the drive there, but I still needed to put my top on and my knee brace. When I was rolling up my pants to pull it on, the mother was giving me this nasty look. She quickly pulled the daughter out of the locker room. Just before I pulled on my belt, my senior instructor told me I needed to see the head black belts immediately. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Cast, entitled Mother, M, entitled Girl, e.g., my instructor, MI, head black belt, HB, me, is everything alright? HB, this woman and her daughter say that you have illegal gear. Could we please see it? Me, baffled of course, I left my gear bag in the change room though. I can run and grab it if you want. M, oh no you don't. Everyone in the small group turned to her. She put the gear on while my daughter and I were in the change room. MI, are you sure it was OP? I've been training her for years, she bought her all her gear at my dojo and we don't have anything illegal. E.g., she was putting gear on her knee. I saw her. Me, do you mean my knee brace? She needs that. HB, I was notified about that knee brace. It's perfectly legal for OP to wear it, she needs it if she wants to compete safely. No, it's illegal. My daughter has to fight someone with reinforced knees. How is that fair? HB, why is your daughter aiming for the knees? Not to mention, OP and your daughter wouldn't spar each other. They're in completely different belt rank divisions. E.g., why does she even need it? She can walk just fine. Me, if you have to know, I've had knee problems for years. Just ask anyone from my dojo. I got into an accident a while back and it just made things worse. I did physio and now I can walk properly, but my knee could give out if I'm not careful. Still, my daughter will be competing for grand champion. How? Your daughter's an orange belt. She's not going to be allowed to compete. It's a black belt division. But HB, that's enough. OP is competing, but if you don't stop pressing this issue, EG won't. HB turns to me, go get the rest of your GI on. Good luck in competing. Me, thank you, Mr. HB. The girl got to compete and lost while I did the exact same thing. Still, the person who won deserved that gold. Anyway, this isn't as bad as the many stories I've read on this subreddit, but I thought I'd share this woman's audacity. TLDR, entitled Mom thinks my knee brace is an illegal piece of gear and wants me to take it off. Parent tries to steal my prized possession for her kid, by user Lord Spyaters. Almost 10 years ago I started to race mountain bikes as a hobby. It eventually became a big part of my life and I built up a bike worth around $10,000. The year 2018 rolls around and Fox just released a brand new product and the people go crazy for it. I managed to get one somehow and installed it on my bike few days prior to an event. At the event I park my bike at my team's usual stand and I go by my day waiting for my race around noon. Well, at around 10 in the morning I noticed a female probably around 35 to 40 starting to mess around with my bike, trying to remove it from the stand and achieve nothing. Bike locked to the stand. I go up to her to find out what she's doing and had the following conversation. Me, hey, I noticed that you were messing with my bike. I don't mind at all if you look at it, but please don't touch it. Parent, no, I'm taking your fork. This is a general term for the Fox product, because you damaged my son's bike in the race. Me, ma'am, I haven't even raced yet. This bike hasn't left this spot and your son is definitely a lot younger than me, so we clearly don't race together. Parent, he said you damaged it, so you did now give me the fork. After more refusing and reasoning with this lady, she started yelling at me for being a bitch about it. My coach saw what was happening and he got security to come deal with her. After explaining to security what had happened, they dragged the lady out and her kid decided to come and kick my bike for good measure. To this day I have no clue what her reasoning was. I think that maybe the kid saw the bright orange fork and wanted it so bad he lied to his mother. Best part about this, she tried to take the fork from the bike with her bare hands. You need tools to remove it and her kid's bike was way too small, it wouldn't even fit. Parents told me that spending long amounts of time with any of their adult children is bad for their marriage, by user Senior Bitches. This is not an extremely egregious story, but I have to rant. Not looking for solutions, it is what it is. I, 26M, was recently told by my parents, late 50s, that I wouldn't be able to live with them for more than a night, even if I lost my job, because it's bad for their marriage. My sister, 29F, has a chronic illness that forces her to visit my parents for about 1 week at a time to see a specialist in our home city. My parents told me that even my sister spending a week with them is bad for their marriage and they have to put an end to it. This whole conversation started because there might be a lapse in my lease, and I might not have a place to live for a few weeks in June. I own a travel trailer, so they said I could live in that at a campground before my new lease starts. I was shocked that even if push came to shove, I wouldn't be able to land at their place for a short while. 2 years ago when COVID hit, my girlfriend, 24F, and I were displaced. We crashed at a friend's place for 2 months because my parents, who literally own 2 houses, wouldn't allow us to stay at either. My mom told me then, we would always let you stay with us, but we just can't house your partner as well. She's a taker. Okay, whatever, my mom was newly sober so I didn't think much of it. Well, 2 years later, here we are, and I am in fact not allowed to stay with them. I quoted my mom back to her, she called me manipulative, my dad shouted at me, and they both told me a lot has changed in the last 2 years. We are doing a lot better and living with you is bad for our marriage. We can't live with you at all anymore unless you become very sick or in severe debt. Welp. Guess they're going straight to the nursing home if they live long enough. More context, my mom is an alcoholic, who has been sober for 2.5 years. My parents have seen the same therapist since, which seems fishy. Mother went from aggressively pushing antidepressants and anxiolytics on the whole family for years, to staunchly hating all drugs. End rant. Shit like this makes me so grateful for the family I'm building with my girlfriend, no plans on having kids though.